Good evening, everybody. So, as the video mentions, 2.5 years in sobriety. Here's what happened. The first thing is there's a few more tattoos. The hair's a bit different, and we're growing the beard again. But other than that, it's been a journey. The question I'm at tonight is, why is it that I'm making this video? And when I started this sobriety journey, I wanted to document everything that I had done since I got sober, because it's all about me, innit? Do you know what I mean? On YouTube, I'm not famous. I've not got a lot of followers. I've not got a lot of subscribers. But I guess if it gets one view and that one person that views it decides to say, do you know what? Maybe I'm just going to try this stuff, then my job's been done. I've been putting this video off for a few weeks actually. I actually got 2.5 years ago, a couple of weeks ago, but anyway, let's roll with it, man. So I guess the first thing would be like all the changes that happen in sobriety, do you know what I mean? I certainly didn't look like this. I've lost a bit of weight again. I was a fully qualified personal trainer who needed a personal trainer. And I had lost confidence, my driver's license, and I was in a lot of debt. And it was getting really painful to continue drinking and taking drugs. And the truth be told, I should have got into recovery a couple of years before I got in. But as it says in the big blue book of Alcoholics Anonymous, the mind and body are marvellous mechanisms for enduring more pain. Because this went on for years, do you know? And I had got the shiny stuff back. Should maybe have done this video during the day, by the way. So I got the shiny stuff back, like my driver's license and a car and people talking to me again and all of that sort of stuff, do you know what I mean? But it was internally, man. Internally, I'm different. And I guess that's what we'll talk about, man. The differences, do you know? First of all, I've got more money, do you know what I mean? Because I'm not paying tip bills out at the end of every month. I've not missed a single Monday at work in a long time, by the way. You know, I'm a qualified PT and I've got a HND in sports coaching, but at the end of my run, you wouldn't have left your dog with me, never mind one of your kids, do you know what I mean? But today I was back coaching football, do you know what I mean? I've been doing it for years now, and it's now my job again. I'm delighted to say, do you know what I mean? I no longer need to go and hang about call centres and factories and pretend that I'm interested, because I've been sacked for another gym again, do you know what I mean? Every single weekend, On a Sunday, I'm there nice and early, and I'm back helping the next generation of children, man. I get to be involved in watching these young kids who come in and they're holding on to their mum and dads, they don't want to look at you, they've no confidence, and then a couple of weeks later they're scoring goals, giving me fist bumps and high fives and telling me that they love me, and it's mental. But it's truly amazing to give back. I've got my driver's licence back. I've bought a new car. I've had fucking more issues with that new car than anything else, by the way. But that's another story. The outside looks nice. I'm back in a job that I love and that I've trained and studied to do. I'm more at peace, man. I'm more calm. I realised as well that a lot of these people that I was sort of hanging about with or spending time with, I don't actually like them. We just drink and take drugs together. And I built up all of these conceptions of how life was supposed to be for 30 odd years, man. And I used to think that it was normal to finish your work on a Friday and go out and collecting your tick money and go to the boozer and go to the fit on a Saturday and stay out all the way through on a Sunday up to your local boozer. And it turns out it's not a done thing. Do you know what I mean? But I surround myself with people who do the same things because then I know I'm socially accepted. I don't try and play God today. That was a big one. Do you know what I mean? These people should be doing this at that time, and that should happen like that, and that should happen like that. And what I done was, it was 930 odd days ago now, but I went to a house party on Christmas Day. That's the sort of company I keep, by the way. And I was walking home and I had all of these experiences, and I remember getting to the top of that hill and I was screaming out that I couldn't do this anymore. And I meant it with every single fibre of my being. But I don't know about any of this stuff yet. And there's a part in the book which is like the Bible for people who suffer with alcoholism or any addiction. And it says, I can't bring into consciousness with sufficient force the pain and memory of the suffering even a few days ago. I am without defence against the first drink. And so that was Christmas Day. And I was rough for a few days, and then I can't bring into consciousness with how bad that was. And it was the night of the bells, and I was getting ready, get my good shirt ironed, and I remember I was going back to the pub. I was going to do it all again, and I don't have any social media other than my famous YouTube channel now, by the way. And somebody sent me a link to this sobriety podcast thing. And it was one of the Towie or the Chelsea people. I don't know who they are. And it said, have you tried a CA meeting? And I was like, whoa, a CA meeting, you know what I mean? I need to be injecting heroin to attend them. And if I find out that you were injecting heroin, then I don't need to go and you do, because I'm better than you, obviously. And I'm not an addict either, because I only snort cocaine, I don't smoke it or inject it. You know what I mean? We look down my nose at people like that, God forbid. And I'm not an alcoholic either, because I don't sell the big issue, and I've still got a clean pair of trainers, and I don't stay and sleep out in fucking park benches and all of this stuff, man. And I had all of these ideas of what it was going to be like. So that night, my friend had bought me a ticket for the night in the pub at the Bells, and it was either go to the pub that night. There was this wee voice in the back of my head about these CA meetings, and the link that I got sent, it said all you have to do is go onto Google and type in your postcode and you get meetings round about your surrounding area. So I was like, fuck it, I may as well just go on and check about these meetings. And there was one for the 1st of January. So I was placed with an option. It was either go to the pub that night or go to that CA meeting on the 1st of January. And by the grace of God, I decided to go to the CA meeting instead. And I went there and I was like, I shouldn't be here. I'm better than everybody else, you know what I mean? I've got better trainers than him, and fucking... It was a woman who was sharing like this the first time, so obviously I don't need to listen, because I'm a man, and fucking all of this stuff, man. And I keep trying to disqualify myself as to why I should be there. But I came and I looked about and I seen sober alcoholics and drug addicts. And there was a select few who seemed to be at peace, who seemed to be happy. They seemed to have found something that I didn't know existed. And at this meeting, I remember trying with all my might to just stop, to like just do sober October or dry January, and I was fucking climbing the walls, man. But here was people with, it was blowing my mind how people were getting 7 days, you know what I mean, 30 days, 6 months, what the fuck, man. And in the area I stay in, I've only known one person to get sober. And I know everybody from this area. Thousands of people, but only one person I've known to get sober. And I cannot stay sober one weekend for love nor money. So I came to think that some of these rules these people were laying down, they must work. They must work. Because I'm sitting here and I'm looking at it. I'm seeing people with weeks, months, and people with multiple years. There was a guy there at 13 years or something. What the fuck, man? Somebody here knows something that I don't. And then I came to believe that if I done what they told me to do, that I could get well as well. And when you go to a meeting, you'll hear a lot of jargon that you don't know, but the first thing was to get a big blue book, and that's the big blue book of Alcoholics Anonymous. And as I mentioned, that's the Bible for people who are in recovery or who want to recover from any addiction. And the next thing was to get a sponsor, somebody who was already in CA before me, who was sober and who could help me. I had a lot of doubts at the start, because how can I be powerless? You know, I mean, I'm reading the first couple of steps here that's on this scroll. How can I be powerless? I'm fucking John for the scheme, and I've ran double-digit marathons. I used to be in the army, ultra marathons, fucking all of this stuff. Do you know what I mean? How can I not defeat this small thing? So I asked this guy to help me. And the first chapter in that book is called The Doctor's Opinion. And for me, this is when these light bulbs start going off, because all my life, man, we grow up and it's just stop drinking Buckfast and drink lager. John, stop going out in Hamilton and go out in Glasgow. John, don't go out in Glasgow and go out in Edinburgh. John, the British Army will give you discipline. John, you've just not met the right girlfriend. John, why don't you stop taking prop and take 50-50? John, why don't you only drink on a Friday? John, why don't you only drink on a Saturday? John, just make sure that you go home Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock when the Indians open. John, you need to leave Hamilton, son. You need to go out of this country and travel. But then that country doesn't work. Then that country doesn't work. Then that country doesn't work. John, you need to get a new job. John, you need to stop going out with this group of pals. Go out with that group of pals. Every fucking way possible. I tried to control this. And I used to believe it was where I stayed. Growing up, my dad being murdered. I'm there, my friends have been stabbed. Fucking Boris Johnson, COVID, Brexit, the Millennium Bug. Fucking somebody done something to me, do you know what I mean? And that's obviously is why I drink. And I doubt that this book can work for me, because it's written 100 years ago and I'm fucking amazing, do you know what I mean? I wasn't really that great, by the way, I found that out. And the first book, as I mentioned, is called The Doctor's Opinion. So if a doctor tells me something, I tend to take it at face value. You know what I mean? And the doctor describes that an alcoholic or an addict of my type is allergic to alcohol and drugs. So I was in the dictionary, I'm fucking reading it up, and it's described as an abnormal reaction And straight away this lightning bolt goes off. And I'm like, fuck, I do react differently from other people, by the way. I'm going to keep on reading. And then it describes this threefold illness. And all my life I could never describe what happens when I drink or how I felt. Or why I make these decisions. Not to go to this job. I need more drink and more drugs. I need them more than anything else. And why all these things happened. So what happens was I used to put the first mouthful of that drink in and this switch would go down and it was game on for then, you know what I mean? And what happens is an alcoholic of my type puts the first drink in, it sets off this allergy and it sets off a craving that is beyond my mental control. And when I heard that, I was like, fuck, I do have that craving. It only seems to be me who has it as well. Fuck, I think I might be allergic to alcohol and drugs. Why have I not been told this fucking 10 years ago? I've been getting told, oh, just stay away from that place, go here, do this, do that. But I'm allergic to it. And the book describes this craving becomes paramount to anything else. And I'm like that, fuck, that's me. I don't care about fucking work, Christmas, birthdays, funerals, my driver's licence, the law, my sanity, my bank balance, my safety, fucking nothing. My whole ways and means of thinking are revolved and centred around how I can get one more. And I think, fuck, that's me. And then it describes about the guy who is normal in every sense, except when it comes to alcohol, that I was extremely insane. And I thought, fuck, this is right. This is me. I've got this thing. And it tells me that I always believe, and I did always believe, that I was going to go home after 4 pints at half time when the football finished. I believed it with all my might. I fucking believed it. But I didn't know about this allergy. So when I put this first one in, it's fucking game over. And I believe that I'll go home at full time. I'm going up the road at shutting time. I'm going to be at my work on Monday. I'm no going to text that bird that. I'm no going to that house either. But the minute this first one goes in, it tells me where to go, what to do, how long for, and I don't know if I'm coming back. And I also have this spiritual malady, this hole in the soul where nothing is ever enough. Fucking nothing. I've got a new car, it's all great, it's all shiny, but after a week it's the wrong colour and the brakes are fucked now as well. I've got the iPhone 14. The minute the 15 comes out, this is a piece of shit. There's a crack on the screen, the battery doesn't last long enough now either, and the fucking camera as well. Can't take a good selfie or anything, you know what I mean? Irritable, restless and discontent. That's how it's described in the Big Blue Book of Alcoholics Anonymous. Bored, angry and pissed off. That was me all the fucking time. Unless I can again experience the sense of ease and comfort which comes from taking a few drinks. Drinks we see others taking with impunity. but they don't have this physical allergy. So I see normal people taking 2 drinks and thinking, I'm going to get away with that as well. But when I put this first one in, it tells me where to go, what to do, how long for, and I don't know if I'm coming back. Because when I put it in, this allergy gets set off. And it only occurs in drinkers like me. The reason why I was wanting to speak about this so much was in the hope that one person has got this far in this video and can relate to it and think, fuck, maybe I am allergic to alcohol and drugs. And if you are sitting here thinking that, this is the best part about it all. We have discovered a common solution. We've got a way out, man. We've got a way out, and it works in rough goings. I went through steps 1 through 12. I've been connected to this power greater than myself, which has restored me to sanity and removed all of my problems, man. Since I've came into Cocaine Anonymous, I've not found it necessary to drink or take drugs for over 2.5 calendar years. The 12 steps, Cocaine Anonymous, the Big Blue Book of Alcoholics Anonymous, Bill W, and all of these people that came before me saved my life. There's no questions about it. And I live a life today, man, which is happy, joyous and free with pretty much zero worries. Because I've came to believe that this power, if it can pull a chronic alcoholic back from the gates of insanity or death like I was, then it can do fucking anything, man. Anything. The day the miracle is still upon us, and my own recovery proves that. So if you've got this far in the video, or you're just fast forwarding to the good bit, ask yourself, do you react differently to other people? And my sponsor, when I first met him, he qualified me. And he said, can you just answer yes or no to these questions? When you start drinking or drugging, can you just stop abruptly? No. When you start drinking and drugging and you now stop, say on a Monday because you're fucked or you've ran out of money, can you stay stopped for a long period of time, like months or years? No. When you start drinking and drugging, can you control whether it's 2 glasses or 2 bottles of wine? No. And when you start drinking and drugging, do you have a choice in what happens, when it ends, where you end up, or how much money you're going to spend? If you answer no to any of these questions, then you're probably an alcoholic or an addict, and you are suffering with an illness. And we've come to believe it's an illness, by the way, which only a vital spiritual experience will conquer. And how I got a vital spiritual experience was by coming into Cocaine Anonymous, getting a big book, getting a sponsor, working the 12-step programme. I've been connected to that power and I've not found it necessary to drink or take drugs since. There is a solution, and it lies and 164 pages of the big blue book of Alcoholics Anonymous in 12 very simple steps. My next video, God willing, will be in December, and we're celebrating 3 years continuous sobriety, man. One day at a time, that's all it is. If you can stay sober for 24 hours, you can stay sober for the rest of your life. Thank you very much.